Anything out there for you?
No, but
You good?
no, but I'm about to start.
Okay, go ahead. I'm done. I ain't gonna say that.
Good evening, good evening. It is Wednesday, October 27th, 2021. Welcome to the Keeping It Real Conversation Show with Sunshine. I am your host, Camila, aka Sunshine. Again, thank you for joining in, tuning in. Please let somebody know that we are live right now. Again, if you are not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do so. Is the name of the show, Keeping It Real Conversations with Sunshine. We are live on my Facebook page, Sunshine Camila, Kamela. I am also live on Spotify, Mixcloud, Twitch, and I still always forget one more. But however way you need to, please subscribe. Please also share the broadcast. I appreciate it. Also, I believe in 6 degrees of separation. You are one person away, one advice away, one help away from where you need to be in your destiny. Of course, I always let you guys know how I know the person that I have on the show. Can you hear me, Trina?
Yes, I can hear you. My husband was questioning me on something.
So I ain't about to get into that. But however, I have known this young lady since September 1992, freshman year in high school. For all those who do not know, I am alumni of Laura F. Osborne High School, class of 96. And this young lady, she didn't graduate with me, unfortunately. Broke my little heart. But however, we was of the class that came in at Osborne and took Osborne by storm. She was a part of what we call the nerdy crew.
Yes.
We were all stuck together in classes all day long, basically, almost. And we became really good friends. We hung out outside of school, and we had a good time together. Last time I had Trina on, we talked about when life happens. We talked about her transitioning, going through life as we knew it, being hurt by different things that have some reason or another have caused us to be depressed, at one moment suicidal, all types of things that we shouldn't have to go through as young women, but hey, that's what we had to go through. We also talked about her transitioning from the service, where she had dedicated how many years?
23 and a half.
23 and a half. And proving her point as a woman, a Black woman, in leadership, climbing the ranks and everything. And she proved not only to the doubters, the haters, the stigma of being an angry Black woman, but even to herself, her family. And she's now officially retired. So we want to welcome Katrina Williams to the show for the second time.
Yay. Hey, girl.
What's going on?
Oh, I'm trying to, I'm building this business, right? Of course, with the support of my family, but being my own independent business owner, taking it one step at a time, trying to grow. I ain't gonna say trying, I am growing,
Mhm.
not just as an individual, but in the mindset of a business owner. It's
Absolutely.
different being in the military um, and transitioning over to that civilian sector. Words are different. The lingo is different. Um, Networking is always important, but we learned that in the Navy anyway. We learned the networking piece of it. But having that networking, that resources, um, branching out, and not be apprehensive or scared of what's to come.
Absolutely. And you have already said some things that I wanted to talk about with you, considering coming from a military background when it comes to transitioning from military to civilian. If I was in that stage, I would be, when it comes to civilians in certain areas, like my patience would be like this, like zero.
So I would say it's not really with the patients, it's more so, when we're given something in the military, especially being senior enlisted, most of it is like we take it and we go with it. We gonna put it, move it however we want to move it, but we're gonna take it, we're gonna move with it. Being in civilian sector, you know, especially owning your own business, you tend to have to find a way to cater to people because you don't want your reputation. And I'm not saying catering to someone to where you're small and they're big. I mean, cater to them as in, especially when you're doing what I do. I am a Pamper Chef independent consultant. With that, every host, every customer, their needs, their knowledge to the just to the business itself it varies. So you have to be able to mold that experience for that host or that customer so that they feel welcomed in, and it's easier for them to transition to, oh man, let me let somebody else know about her because she's great. So you have to, but being in the military, it's like, look, this is what we need to do. This is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it. So, let's go ahead and, and you pull out that drawing board. Civilian, no. Mm-mm.
So what exactly, for those who do not know, she is into the cookware and things of that nature. And so how did you get into the idea of wanting to own your own business?
So first of all, I will say that Pamper Chef kind of like fell into my lap. I'll say I've always been a cooker and a baker. If you ask any of my closest friends and family, I cook. I'll say, I know my niece told me a couple of weeks ago when I came up there to Detroit, she was like, I was trying to figure out why every time Auntie come up here, she always want to cook. And then I realized that's Auntie's love language. That is my love language. Food makes people happy.
Mhm.
Food, if somebody's in a, feeling bad or whatever, when you say, oh, baby, let me make you a plate. Oh, baby, let me go ahead and scramble these eggs up. They face is like, yeah, that's going to be nice. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
food makes people happy, whether it's a dessert, whether it's some eggs that's, you scrambled up a little bit. Food just brightens up people's day. And for me, my family, because I'm always cooking for my family, whether it's the kids, the grandkids, my sister. She sends me a list before I even hit the state line. Like, this is what I want when you come up here. I get like a 4. Sometimes I can get a 3-month notice. Like, hey, when you come up here, can you make this? So it's like it 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 makes me feel good to make someone else feel good.
Okay.
So doing that, I hosted a Pamper Chef party last year, from the person I actually bought my first Pamper Chef product from, which she isn't a consultant anymore, but she was like, I think you do real good. She invited me to a party and I did it. And this is it. I am an independent consultant for Pamper Chef.
I saw the picture
Ooh.
of the kitchen spread.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, you better come through now. I'm listen, I'm not the cooker at all. So I have to put this disclaimer out. I know how to cook.
Mm-hmm.
Let me say that again. I know how to cook, but my husband loves to cook. Yeah. I don't. So I'm everywhere else but in the kitchen. So for a person like me, when I saw her picture, and I had it on the flyer, I was like, wow, she make me want to be in the kitchen just by looking at everything and how the picture was set. I was like, oh, I would love to grow up and be like that. I was very impressed with your picture, truly.
So I'm gonna say this. First of all, shout out to my photographer. Her and her family are awesome. We both served in the Navy together. We were both retired senior chiefs. She is Yentech Photography, Jacksonville, Florida. So if you want to look her up on Facebook, it's Yentech, YENTIK Photography. It is her and her husband and her daughter. They all help out with the pictures, and they've taken some of our family photos, my retired photos. Even my daughter, she's now 21, but when she had her prom pictures, she took her prom pictures, and she's always done an awesome job. They've always done an awesome job. And when she came, she was like, oh, you ready? I was like, I am trying to get this branding on. I am trying to branch out, and I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna put this disclaimer out there. Pamper Chef is not widely known in our community.
Okay.
Some people know about it, some people don't. But I'm gonna say this: quantity over quality. That is, that's something that, I've started saying recently, because some people may ask, when they look at it and they're like, oh my God, did you see how much that skillet is? But I can guarantee you that lifetime warranty on that skillet compared to you having to buy another product 4, 5, 6 times, no matter where you get it from. Quality. Did I say quantity? Quality. Let me correct myself. Jesus. Quality over quantity. Quality. Okay. Quality of Pamper Chef products is what makes it so awesome. That is one of my words too. Awesome. I love to say awesome, but it's awesome. You can't go wrong. And if something do happen to it, we're not going to say that it's perfect, but the customer service, you cannot beat customer service with Pamper Chef. Mm-hmm. It's just awesome. It's an awesome experience. You'll just enjoy just using it and being there. And I'm gonna tell you, they're bragging rights. You'll be like, girl, I use this Pamper Chef product, and they be like, really? When you start using it and it becomes a topic of discussion,
right?
That's where the exposure comes in, and that's what I'm looking for. That's the reason why I decided to my branding for my pictures. It was just the photo shoot was it was a great experience, awesome experience, and then for me to put it out there and the after effect of, oh man, there were some nice pictures, and I want to say, even so I don't normally wear a lot of makeup, but the lady who did my makeup, baby, because I told her, I said, look, it's got to look natural. Baby, she did an awesome job too.
Yes, she did. I saw those pictures. I didn't even ask you. I said, you know what? I'm going to snatch this picture And I know you're into the sports team that you're into. And so
Mhm.
I did the colors, the
I
same
saw
color
that.
as your sports team. And I
Mhm.
was like, man, Trina did her thing on this.
Yes.
I mean, from a person who's not in the kitchen, you literally made me want to be in the kitchen.
I
Literally.
appreciate that. I really do. And that's the reason why I go live a lot. I like to see, I want to see, I don't want to just grow.
Yeah.
I want us to grow. And one of the things I learned growing up is cooking is it's like a life experience. It's something that helps you. If you know how to cook and you broke, you can make a good meal, right? You can't go wrong with, who don't want to know how to cook. You know what I'm saying? You hear that joke like, all thing you know how to do is boil some water. No, no. So when I come in the kitchen and I go live and I show people these products, I want people to actually be like, wow, I'm about to replay her video so I can see exactly what she did. So that, and then they don't have to feel pressured into doing it because they're wowed by how easy the products are, how easy it is to make them, make whatever dish I'm making and enjoy it with the family. I always bring D on, my baby girl, because she can have her own podcast if I let her. That's how much she like being in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah, that was one of the main reasons. I mean, a lot of times I see a lot of Instagram pages, I see a lot of Facebook pages, and some people's pages speak volume to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so, not because I know you, I mean, that's beyond the point, but what you put out really caught my eye, my attention, my interest. And I want people to know about what you do because I want them not only because we're friends, but because I want them to experience what I saw. That speaks volumes to a person who I'm not in the kitchen, excuse me, had no desire to be in the kitchen. That's not my ministry. So, therefore, what I saw, not only in the pictures, but on the lives as well, it was like, wow,
Mm-hmm.
I will want to try something like that. I want to, my husband stay in the kitchen. So I'm like, okay, I will want to buy something for him because that's what he does. And
Right.
so it's not just a female thing, it's not gender, it's not a racial thing, none of that. It's just the fact that, hey, you like to bake, you like to cook, whatever. Why not have the top of the line material right there with you? Again,
Say it
this
again.
is yes, the top of the line. I'm gonna put you out there. The top of the line products to get the job done. Um, I would have not really said, okay, you have that old skillet that grandmother had that been passed on to you when okay, we need to upgrade.
So you say that, and I'm gonna say this. Yes, we sell cast iron, and yes, it's cast iron. Okay, but how about this? We're gonna take that a step further. I have never liked cooking with stainless steel, never, until I became a Pampered Chef stainless steel owner. I own all three of them, and every time I show someone that in person, they're like, I want that. And the reason I say this is because some of us, like me, I probably just don't know how to cook in stainless steel cookware. Maybe that's just what it was. I didn't know at the time. But Pamper Chef and that stainless steel 10-inch skillet, baby, You can make the best grilled cheese ever and not scrape not one piece up. You ain't got to worry about it. You can use anything, any utensil you want to, and you ain't got to worry about it getting scraped up. Because the first thing they're gonna say is, don't put one of them metal things in my stainless steel pot.
Mhm.
But everything with Pampered Chef, it's worth it. It's worth it. And if it's not, you know what? Let me know. Let me know so I can, either look into it. And don't get me wrong, I get people to say, hey, I use this and this. Well, let me look up something. I'm that consultant that's gonna look up something. I'm gonna send it to you and say, hey, did you try this? Did you do that? Did you make sure I'm that person? And me, I'm probably gonna do step by step. Step one, did you do this? And that's just so that you can help people out. I want people to enjoy their products, but also learn how to use the products too. Because it's not just regular, go to whatever store and get it. It's cookware that requires, and I'm not saying it's hard to clean, but what I am saying is like our stoneware. You can't just put anything on the stoneware and just, everything is supposed to taste good. There's a way that you use the stoneware. So enjoy the products, even the littlest thing. It's this, one of the spatulas I have downstairs. I think I use that like almost every day. I'll be like, ooh, it's got two sides to it. I'll be like, ooh, I can put the peanut butter on this side and jelly on the other side. That's how you have those things. And people don't like to mix that peanut butter and jelly, right? So you got two sides, and I'll be flipping that mug and going with it, so, and I don't want people to get discouraged on prices either, because some of our stuff is not, all of our stuff isn't $50 and $100. We have $25 items. We have $6 items. So don't get discouraged with the price of something. If you want it, host a party. That's the best way to do it. Host a party. Why not host a party?
So from were you thinking about having your own business in the process of you going through retirement?
I've always said when I retired, my husband cracks jokes on me all the time about this. I'm gonna be retired. I'm not working for anybody. I don't plan to work for anybody again. Did I choose, was Pampered Chef the business that I dreamed about? I'm gonna say no. Like I said, it fell into my lap. But I will say I am preparing I'm going back to school. I just finished my master's in April for human services. I'm going back to school in January for my doctoral in education leadership. My passion is developing people, on a mental, physical, emotional, spiritual level, to where they're okay with where they're at, even if that means them having to take a class or admitting to themselves that their education isn't where they want it to be. And I'm speaking more specifically to those high risk areas where sometimes we wonder, why do kids struggle with school? Most of the time, the children are struggling because adult literacy is high in their environment. And if they can't go home to ask someone to help them with their homework, that's probably why their grades are low. So what I envision as a nonprofit business owner, future nonprofit business owner, is to address adult literacy. I think adult literacy can bring down the numbers in high risk areas when you provide adults with the educational needs, and not only focus on the children. Change the environment at the top, the bottom is going to get that same residual effect. So that's how I think addressing education within adults in a high risk area that's where I envision my business being. It's not even I'm not going to say it's a business. I think it's just, I want to be able to serve the community.
And I think that's good. You put me in the mindset of I'm gonna go old school. Lean on me. Like when the young lady got pregnant and the principal was like, don't worry, we're gonna get you together. You already making progress. There's no need for you to go backwards. And she was scared to go home to tell her mom that she was pregnant, but at the same time, at the end of it all, there was a principal there who cared, a counselor that cared. The mom was able to get help as well. So everybody was getting education to better themselves. And I don't know where the generational gap came in, where the village is gone and the village needs to come back. The village needs to come back, because I remember several times where if I came home with a C or a D, which was not often, people in my neighborhood was asking me questions. My grandmother, people in my family, the church, everybody was like, no, you could do better than this. And we're not settling for nothing less than a B if you do that. And so we have to come back into caring for one another. And I feel that you in the house, in the kitchen, your ministry of caring. I know a lady who, when she knows something is going on before she even start, I don't want to say counseling. She in the kitchen making you breakfast. She's in there making you dinner. Now we can talk while you're being fed physically. Now I'm gonna feed you spiritually while you in here. And so I'm like, now who would have thought that food would have did that or brought people together? But it did.
One thing you said about changing or getting back to
caring for one another,
the caring for one another in the village. I'm on the outside looking in, and what I see when it comes to the village is, I think we have too many parents not being transparent with what they have going on and not realizing that that affects their children.
I agree.
And they're going to get defensive about it, because that means if they address what their child is doing, they got to address what's going on with them. And some people are, and I'm not saying they'll never be ready for it, but some people are not ready for it. They're not ready to say, this is what's going on with me. That's that part of it. It requires you to have the self-awareness to say, this is me. And I will say this, I tell a lot of, I still talk to sailors all the time, even though I'm retired. I get phone calls and text messages. We all have faults and flaws, but if you concentrate more on those faults and flaws, the only thing you see is the negative in you. So work on it, but don't make it to where it's always there. Yeah. Right? If someone says to you, every time I say something to you, you roll your eyes. You might want to pay attention to that, right? And then turn around and say, don't roll your eyes, girl. Fix. And I will say it to myself, fix your face. Because I know me. My face.
You ain't the only one.
My face will tell you in a minute, like, go kick rocks. So I have to, when somebody say something to my husband downstairs, how my rude child, I would have to tell myself, fix my face, right? Because I know it could be someone that I don't really, I ain't gonna say I don't care for, but it's someone that I have vibes. I have those things where, so I know my husband gets mad at me sometimes because something would happen. And I'll be like, see, I told you it was something about that person, and now I see what it is. But I have them, but when I'm in that environment with them, I don't want to exude that negative energy. I don't want to be, so I have to be like, go in here, put your face on, girl, and let me tell you, some days I ain't got no filter, right? So I have to say, this ain't about you. Go and do what you got to do and get back on home, right? And when we're talking about that village, when we're talking about caring for one another and being transparent, you got to first care for yourself. Absolutely. And then everything else that comes up under you. Who's up under you that's looking at you like, G-Ma did this, or I'm going to say Paw did that. I'm talking to my husband because he's Paw and I'm G-Ma, So we got to pay attention to those things. What is it that I do that my child is doing, my grandchild is doing, my niece and nephew is doing that maybe I contributed to it? How do I change that cycle? How do I break that cycle?
Absolutely. And I totally agree with that. This is why it's very important, even with myself, with the guests that I bring on, it's very important that we all be transparent and tell the true story of how you made it through, how you made it over, how you overcoming now. Because if we don't tell it, the whole truth and nothing but the truth, the people that are around us will never be able to not only grow, learn from our mistakes, have a true conversation where I'm not wearing makeup, I'm not wearing a mask, I have no hair, I'm this and I'm that, and I'm okay in embracing my differences. I'm different for a reason.
Right.
It's okay. And it's okay that I might rub some people the wrong way just by my appearance, just by me being in a room, and it's all good. At the end of the day, I was sent out for a reason. I don't know if it's a child, I don't know if it's a mother. I work in a clinic, and my boss, my immediate boss, had to tell us to reset. Yep. And pray before you come in here. Yep. You never know what people are dealing with. You never know. You might be that person that can either push them over the edge or get them off the edge. And so you have to realize, again, even with what you do, it's not about you. But we have to take our responsibilities and own it. Own it. Did I get this all the time in my 43 years? No. I was a whole problem. And still to some I might be.
Yeah. Some people, when you say walking into a room and making someone uncomfortable or making them feel some kind of way, your confidence can make someone frown up on you just because you bald-headed, or just because, those basic things that some people may take advantage of. For us, is like, I'll tell you now, I love my hair.
I do too.
I love my hair.
It's green, right?
It's like a turquoise, teal, and blue.
Okay.
So when I dyed it, well, I didn't dye it. My beautician, when she did it, I loved it. I was like, "Ooh, girl." For me, I'm gonna tell you, first of all, being in the Navy for 23 and a half years, ain't no green hair going on. So, I'm gonna take every advantage to it. But not only that, I don't, where I'm at in life, everything natural to me makes me feel so much better.
Right.
And when I say natural, that's one of the reasons why I like being in the kitchen. Because even for my husband is not a big, restaurant eat out type person anyway. He's straight country, born Alabama, raised Alabama, and he down there talking trash right now. But when we can be in the kitchen together, and it's not, no, this is my pot and that's your skillet, right? Mm-hmm. We have our, even for like the holidays, there are things that he make I don't make. And it's not that I can't make it. It's just that that's his thing. That's his. I'll tell you now, my husband can make the best chicken and rice I've ever had. And then when I ask him to make it, like my eyes get big, and I'll be like, yeah. He'd be like, well, where my pot? Oh yeah, that's another thing. If you start doing Pampered Chef, somebody gonna be missing a pot, because I've been getting rid of stuff like left and right. He's like, well, what you do with the pan that I used? I was like, well, I got a Pampered Chef one. Can't you use this? No, so I would say that though. But now I've been a little bit better at, letting them know, like, hey, we transitioning from here to here. But when we're in the kitchen, it's like, all right, babe, we're going to do this. You're going to do that. You know what I'm saying? And we don't clash in the kitchen. Some couples can't cook in the kitchen together. We actually can, right? Okay. We can cook in the kitchen, and, or he'd be like, well, let me know when you finish doing that, because I'm going to do this. And I'll be like, cool, right? Mm-hmm. But that part of it for us is natural. Since we've been together, that being in the kitchen is a natural thing for us. It's like we just come together, and it just, you know what I'm saying? So I'll say that cooking brings people together.
Yes.
And if you already close, it's going to be even closer. So let's cook together, right? Let's sit at the table.
I'll get there.
But it's the little things.
I will say this. I am what it is called a sous chef, right? The one that do all the prepping and all that. Now I will do that. He'd be like, no, babe, I just need you to go cut this onion up and do this and do that. And I'll be like, oh, I feel special. I'm gonna help you do it. But
well, I call her our number 4, Desiree. Desiree is actually a sous chef. She's at Broken Egg Bistro. She works at Broken Egg Bistro in Tuscaloosa, but she did it in high school. So in high school, she took culinary her whole 4 years. She did competitions and everything, and that's what she do. But she liked it. That's her thing. She liked to prep, and and I'm gonna tell you this: being a business owner is really not for me, because I'm retired. I get a check every month, that I can live off of really for the rest of my life. Mm-hmm. But being a business owner is for my kids and my grandkids. My daughter, is looking, to her future. She says, "Ma, I think I want to start selling plates, and I think I might want to get a food truck." I was like, okay. You know what I'm saying? So this is me building legacy for my kids. I want them to be able to experience. For one, I don't want my kids to work for the rest of their life, right? I want them to enjoy life, but I also want them to learn some things along the way and have their own. I don't want them to be 40-some years old getting their own. I want them to have their own in their 20s, right, and enjoying it. Enjoy what you're doing. Enjoy, the whatever work career you decide, love it. Don't just do it to have a paycheck. Do it because that's something you love.
At the end of the day, what we love, we're passionate about, we give our all in. Whether it's me speaking to myself, even with this podcast, like, wow, I have been speaking these things, not realizing I'm speaking it to myself. I'm thinking I'm speaking it for others. And really, it started with me. And so at the end of the day, love what you do. Love what, you know, I don't categorize my show as a God thing or anything like that. I'm just being me. And being me means, of course, it comes with God. It is God, but it's also me being real as real can be, because the fakeness is what got you in trouble. Not telling the whole truth. Like if you go left and the cops is right there, but I'm just gonna tell you to go left with no instructions, no nothing. And then when you get there, it's like, oh, you've been red flagged. But why you didn't tell me that?
Right.
Why you didn't tell me? Now I can make my own ways. I mean, tell me everything. Don't hold nothing back from me. If you tell me everything, like people will say, well, Katrina and Camila, we talked, we did our things. Nobody really didn't know unless they was in the circle. Right. But at the end of the day, we had each other back. At the end of the day, even to this day, do I talk to you every day? No. Do I see you every day? No. Over the course of time, it was, I'm a drop a note, where I don't know if we started with what was the one before it was Facebook? MySpace or something.
Yeah, that one.
We were always connecting. Yeah, something. We was always connecting on some way, somehow, and to the point where we're here today. It's important that the real relationships, the real conversations have to be valued. And that's one thing I want to say to you also, that I value you. Was I military? I think you even asked me to join the military, if I'm not mistaken.
Maybe, was it right after I left?
I think so. And so, and I was like, nah, I don't think that's my plight. I don't think that's it. But however, what we have is special. Not only because you are another Black woman, and you might hear this from your husband, but there's always somebody watching, not just your kids. It's people that you have crossed lines with over the course that you've been on earth. You are valued. You are special to me, because not only do I get to see you from the stands of what happened to us as kids, to you finding a way to overcome that and then go above that and still moving.
I'm gonna say this.
Yes, ma'am. Before
I get all teary-eyed.
Don't do it. Do I got my lashes on? No, I don't. Go ahead.
I am the way that I am because what I didn't have with my parents at certain ages and certain stages in life, I know my kids needed it. Whether they were, whether they're my natural biological or whether, there are certain things that I don't want to ever miss out on. I don't want to ever, I will tell you now, my 21-year-old, she posted something on Facebook and I just like about cried. It said something like, the older I get, I am becoming more and more my mom's best friend. And I'm gonna tell you, we don't agree on everything, okay? Because I already know, my baby, I got a fire chocolate baby, okay? She do her stuff, she do her thing, but I'll tell you, she takes what I say because she know I'm telling her it in love and not in hate, not in envy, not in jealousy. I tell her it in love because there are things that I don't want. I was 21 years old when I got pregnant, right? Generational curse, gone. right? Do I talk to her about stuff? Heck yeah. Like, nah, baby, we ain't doing that. That ain't us. I tell her that in a minute. Nah, boo, that ain't us. That ain't what we do here. That ain't, you know, but she takes that, she values that, and she don't get offended by it. But that's about growth on me. I had to grow up in order to make sure she was able to receive. So sometimes I got to button my lip because, you know, she's at that age where, you know, Mom, I'm grown. Heck. You know what I'm saying? I don't pay none of her bills. Well, I take that back. She do owe me for her cell phone bill, but I don't pay her bills. I don't pay her rent, well, she don't have no car, no, but I don't pay none of that, right? We don't pay any of that, you know, but that all came from us having conversations as she was growing up. That's even with my 12-year-old. That one right there, let me tell y'all something. If you ain't got patience, she gonna make you get patience. Okay. I have to minister to her different than I minister to to number 4, as I call her, because she is like me. She's very stubborn. She's, you know, very opinionated, and she always got a bright ass freaking idea. Ooh, mom. Ooh, mom. Go talk to your daddy. You know, and those are my biologics. We're gonna talk about my 3 oldest. I'm gonna tell you the first thing that's gonna come out their mouth when they come home. Well, we coming next week. You cooking dinner? That's the first thing. Can you make me a carrot cake? Can you make me, can you get me some of those sweet potatoes and that cabbage? You know what I'm saying? Once again, that food will bring them home. You know, so I say that as we got older, especially with the 3 oldest, you know, as they got older, they were okay with reaching out to me. They were okay with asking me, you know, ask Miss Trina. They got used to being okay with, or being comfortable with taking my input on something. And that's a blessing. You know what I'm saying? Yes, were they older, when they grown, when they, you know, started to value my input, but you know what? Better late than never. You know, so I love them all the same. And they'll know, like, y'all gonna ask Trina, she gonna tell y'all. They already know that, you know. But they know when I say something to them, I say it in love. But them grandkids, oh, they're mine. Them all 6 of them, my boos. They all be G-Mom, Papa. Actually, the oldest girl just asked yesterday, well, we need to figure out a time so they can come stay with you. Okay. Only thing is I do need help because I do have rheumatoid arthritis. So I need help around the house because they, 3, 2, and 1. So I'm gonna need help with all 3 of them in the house together.
Wow. Excuse me. So as a wife, a mother, a businesswoman, I don't know. Are you doing, with your consultant, are you doing on stages yet? Like in front of a camera?
Oh, you talking about vendor events, or what are you talking about?
Yeah, like actually not so much selling it, but being on a stage, actually talking about your business.
So I just started doing in-person parties last weekend. And I'm gonna tell you, the same person that did my photos, she hosted an in-person party. It was the best. It was the best. And you know, with the pandemic and everything, we more specifically myself stayed, you know, clear of doing in-persons because with me having an autoimmune, I have to protect myself and I got to protect the family. And if I get sick, which I'm more susceptible of getting sick than they are, then I can bring it home to them. So I am a little cautious on that. But with her specifically, when she agreed to do it, because I told her, I said, you have much more success doing in-person parties than you do virtual parties.
Yeah.
And with that, when I did it last weekend, it was awesome. I was like, oh, I need to do these more often. It was awesome. It was awesome. It really was. So yes, I am doing those. I was able to demonstrate some of our products, cook with some of them, and they were like oohing and on, and I loved it. Right. So I really can't wait for the pandemic to cool down a little bit more, because I am a little hesitant on doing the in-person parties. Not to be offensive to anyone, but everybody don't clean the way that you clean it. Everybody don't take care of themselves the way that you do. So those are things that I have to take into consideration because of my medical condition.
Understandable, which is by right.
Mhm.
Any other adventures that you have coming up?
I'm
Like
doing vendor
with
events.
what about was that you? No, maybe it wasn't you. With the women like lingerie type
Oh, you
situation.
talking about Pure Romance?
Mm-hmm.
So no, I am not an independent consultant for that, but I do have 2 retired Navy veterans that do the Pure Romance, and that's Maggie and Talisa. So if you look them up on Facebook, it's Jamila Applewhite. I think that's her name on Facebook. I'll tag it. I'll put it in the thing because I like to do shout outs to everybody that I'm connected to.
Mm-hmm.
But they do sell the Pure Romance. I am just a customer, and I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna put a disclaimer out there on independent consultants. I think a couple of months ago, was in September, I did shout outs on people who own businesses. So I am a sharer, I am a lover of helping people out. And I do it because the exposure is so much, it means so much to people. I share it, somebody else shares it, somebody else shares it. And you never know, you'll get that. And it could be an anomaly. You could get, one person that orders from that share, you could get 5. So I do believe in telling people about other resources or other products out there, because I would want them to do the same for me. You know what I'm saying? Let's share this. Let's share the wealth. I'm not going to keep it to myself. But I also believe that if you ask someone to purchase something from you, I believe you should pay it forward and do the same thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Purchase something from them. There's nothing wrong with that. And I'm not saying a tit for tat, but what I am saying is let someone have that experience, right? Some people, I heard of Pure Romance, but I didn't buy their products. But now I'll be like, oh yeah, it's time for me to stock up, or it's time to me to. And everything isn't a romance thing. Some of it is enhancing to the body, like the body healing oil. I love that. I love that. When Deanna falls and scrapes her knee, let me put this oil on there. It helps it clear. It helps it heal better, and the scar is not as visible. So there are things in there. The resources that I put out, or the things that I tell people about, it's because I found something of a benefit, whether it's immediately to me or to the family. It's something they can use.
I think is very important, not only because I'm a connector by nature, and I didn't put 2 and 2 together until last year. And the more and more I do this, I understand That's part of my ministry, is connecting people.
Yes.
I've always been the peacemaker. I try to be anyway. The peacemaker, and connecting to, if you have something and I know somebody in my circle
Yep.
who could help you, you need this, especially with Facebook, always asking for recommendations. I'll put somebody else's name out. It's not gonna hurt me, it's not gonna hurt them to put
Right.
it out there to get exposure. The person, Mari, who does my pictures, she did my wedding, my engagement, she did my wedding. I love her. So anytime, and she does music, she has a studio. So anytime I see any of those natures, I'm putting her name out there. If I see somebody asking about some pots and pans and things of that, I'm gonna put your name out there. Just like when I was getting ready for the fashion show, I was like, I just need some help. I need jewelry. I need this. I need this. She said, hold on. So you connected me to somebody who does jewelry.
Yes.
Now we're having a conversation, all three of us. What's the recommendation? What's the colors? What's this? What's that? And killed it. Killed it. The stuff showed up right. I think the day before the show. And I'm like, look, if I would have
that was on what, a Tuesday or Wednesday?
Yes. And the show was that Saturday. I think it showed up Friday or Thursday. One of them. It came quick. And it was enough time. But if I never asked, if I never felt like, look, somebody is here to help me, this is something I want y'all to understand. This, you are looking at someone who was one of the baddest tomboys ever, who was totally against all of this.
Everything.
I didn't wear makeup. I didn't wear earring. I did. I had something like this. I wasn't into all of this. I had to grow up into this, doing my makeup and all of this thing. Nobody taught me any of this. This all came from God. I'm telling you. If you saw me back then to now, oh my God, there is a God. But I'm saying, you have to open your mouth. If you need help, this is why the show is here, to connect people. If you looking for anything, just say it. You never know. The person could be right next door to you. But you never know unless you open your mouth. I have to say this, and this is our thing. Philip Doty.
Yes.
Philip was one of our
he
nerd
was in
friends.
our clique. Yes, he was.
One of our nerd friends.
Him,
and over
Chris,
the years.
Sean.
Yes. Sean, yes. It was so many of us. Oh my God.
It was Deshaun, not Sean. Deshaun.
Yeah, Deshaun White. Mario. It was, oh my, Christopher Williams. It was so many of us. It was ridiculous. But over time, I kept in touch with him. I kept in touch with Deshaun. And Philip was on not a couple of months ago. And he was telling me about his daughter, who, my God, this girl is a piston dancer.
Yes, I saw it. And she's doing something else right now, isn't she?
I think she's still in school, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh no, I've seen him post that oh man, she did something recently. And it wasn't with the Pistons. She did something recently. I can't remember what it was. But when I saw it, I was like, wow.
I'm gonna have to look it up. But I know it's people that know him, because he doesn't live here. They're taking pictures with her, like, I just saw your daughter. Do you know how that makes him feel?
I'm trying
that the dream is coming to pass. All the things that we have sacrificed, all the time, all of this. He's always at work. You know what I'm saying? Doing what he needs to do for his family. This is what we're talking about. This is what we're talking about legacy that we're leaving to our children.
Yes.
That hard work pays off.
You know,
And we're
and
gonna live to see it.
and we gonna live to see it. We don't have to hear about it, or they don't have to hear about it.
Nope.
That
And
right
they're gonna
there.
be at that place of saying, I remember when my mama was doing this, my mama was in the kitchen, my mama. And then all of a sudden, this is their language. And they'll be sitting on the couch telling somebody else, I remember when my mama told me how she grew up. My mama told me about the experiences she had. My mama told me that she had to break down walls and barriers and take down the stigma that people had about us. But look at her now.
I do want
Looking
to
on the couch, sitting on the couch with some purple turquoise hair.
Look, so this jewelry I have on, because you said jewelry. I know I have a paparazzi queen. That is Miss Tiffany Meacham. This is one of them Z collections. You know, she makes sure I'm good. She which is now your paparazzi queen.
Right.
She Tiffany was one of my friends in high school, and when I moved to Chicago, actually she was my best friend in high school when I moved to Chicago, and she the same way. We kept in contact over the years, and I have a thing with paparazzi. It's just like pots and pans to me. My oldest sister makes fun of me because she'd be like, you're such an accessory girl. But I'm going to tell you something. I wasn't always an accessory girl.
Yeah.
But some of it, I'm going to shout my husband out on this. My husband does spoil me, right? But now he'll say stuff like, don't you already got that in the closet? Like if I get a paparazzi box delivered, I have to have it in the closet, you know, and then I'll come out with something. But that's just like with him, you know, he come out with shoes out the closet, and I'll be like, bro, where you get them from? Right? Oh, I've been had these. But me and my jewelry, baby, she keep me right. She do keep me right. She keep track of what I be ordering.
I'm getting to the place where I'm looking at makeup. Like I'm in the store, like I'm gonna try that.
I'm gonna try that.
Right, I'm gonna try that. Whatever they say, oh, that you know, it is. As my friend, she said, with makeup, the good thing about it, you can keep playing in it until you like what you like. And that's all I can say. Shout out to Leah Simone, who did my makeup for my engagement, my wedding. She's an awesome makeup artist. Anytime I got something really big going on, I'm gonna be in her face. But however, in the meantime, I have been doing it and I have watched her. Do I have it all right together? No, but y'all ain't gonna know that. However, we do what we have to do. And like I said, I'm giving you your flowers while you still living. And to know that somebody's listening, somebody's watching, and it's my duty to connect you with those who are connected to me. And so, and this becomes a full circle. And we all win. We all are victorious with it. So thank you again. I know an hour goes so fast when we be just talking. But I want everybody, if you can, to let them know how to get in touch with you about your business.
So if you are interested in purchasing a product from me, please go to teatimetrina.com. That is TEATIMETRINA, teatimetrina.com. If you want to know what it means, why I got Tea Time Trina, when you sit down and eat, you having a little tea, what you doing? You talking, you catching up, right? You some people gossiping, but it's a gathering. And that is what tea time is. Tea time is a gathering of people. Most time is like-minded folks. They get together, they talk about something, they're eating and they're drinking. If you would like information on how to become a consultant, you can reach me either here on Facebook, Katrina Williams, or you can reach me, you can send me an email from my webpage, teatimetrina.com. The webpage will send you to my Pampered Chef page. It'll also give you my information on how to get in contact with me. I forwarded or I share this on my page. So if you want to drop a comment on there and say, hey, I'm interested, or drop me a gift, whatever the case you want to call it, I will respond to that. More than likely, I will Facebook friend you and then respond so that I can make sure you get the message. But any way that you want to get in contact with me, you can find it on my page, and or you can go to my website.
And
thank you.
before we leave, I want to give a shout out to my friends, Lakeisha McDade, whose shirt I am wearing. It says "No longer a slave to sin." This is her movement that I have been a part of since she started it. I want to make sure that y'all support her as well. I decided to dress down today, and I decided to wear her shirt. Again, is "No longer slave to sin." Her name on Facebook is Lakeisha, Lakeisha McDade, McDade. And you can purchase this shirt. She had it in several different colors. And she goes out, is an evangelism tool. So those who are in the spiritual world, church world, whatever you want to call it, these is the shirts and the movement, the song that that God has given to her to evangelize. So again, thank you, Trina, for sitting down on both of our couches to talk about the business, to talk about life, to talk about legacy, to talk about just in living our best life today. Yes. Okay. I ain't gonna wait 5 years from now. I'm living it now. And so again, I'm looking at you while you looking at me. We got each other in prayer. We got each other. Anytime you need anything, just like I reached out to you about that jewelry. I got you. Again, everybody, I have one more show in the out, 1 more hour. I have Nuche on, and that's gonna be my evening. But however, please like and share the video. Please get something out of it. I promise you, we're not just sitting here talking. It is about sharing, connecting, and encouraging one another. So again, thank you, Trina.
Thank you.
And I will talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye, hon.